Beautiful night here. Good crowd out there for the alumni. Just couldn't ask for a better Friday night for football. A lot of games going on around town, but the Tigers try to keep their winning ways going tonight, John. And a Fairdale team that over the last few years, their program has gotten better.
And it's, as I said, it's the last game. I said it's the last game for the Tigers here at home until October 13th when they take on, hello everybody, when they take on the male Bulldogs. St. X will travel to Central next week, PRP the week after that, the traditional game with Trinity at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, then at Manual before they get back home. That's a long road stretch.
It sure is, and it's kind of odd, but the schedule has changed over last few years when the district became a bigger district. So it's what it is. Tigers have started against two good teams this year, and Indianapolis Cathedral, who, of course, on the message, they're 0-3. They've lost to three of the best teams in the Midwest, and St. X, a team from Detroit, and then they lost to one of the top-ranked teams in Ohio by 5 points. And then the Bowling Green team, who everybody says is down, but they're still good. They're just not the level they are. Two great wins for the Tigers first 2 weeks, and then they look for Fairdale tonight.
Let's talk about that Bowling Green game. It could have been one of those days, a rain out on Friday. You go down early Saturday morning. If you're not ready to play, it could get kind of hairy, but the Tigers jumped on Bowling Green last week.
They did play very well in the first half, went up 21-0, and pretty much their defense, they gave up some yards early and didn't give up any points, and in the second half, actually, the defense didn't give up a whole lot. A couple punt return after a penalty of a long pass when it probably shouldn't have happened, but the defense played very well last week, and Coach Wilford got to be happy. You have a 21-point lead at halftime, and then the win, the 11-point win.
Defense, as you said, took a big step forward. They were good against Cathedral, who had a really powerful offense, but they were really special, I thought, last week. And if they can improve week to week like that, we won't just be talking about this Tiger offense.
No, and, you're looking at a defensive backfield we've talked about the first few games that is very inexperienced. Even the guys who've been out there haven't played much. You've moved a wide receiver to safety. You've got a junior. You've got some guys on the corner. You've got a senior that hadn't even played. But they're getting better. There's a lot of athletic ability, and if they can shore that up, defense line played great last week. And, good things all year long for the Tigers.
Depth is a big part of this St. X team, especially on the offensive side of the football, and that'll come into play tonight. Will Crum will not play tonight. Brett Metzmeyer, the running back, he's had a couple of 150-plus yard games. He will not play, although he is dressed and did warm up. He will not play tonight. He's dinged up. And also Dominic Algar, starting wide receiver, with an issue as well. So we'll see a lot of Will Ginter, we'll see a lot of Bryce Harkins, and we'll see a lot of Anthony Moretti tonight. So it's a deep offense, and those guys are going to get a chance to shine tonight.
Well, they'll get to start, and hopefully if you're a Tiger faithful or the coaches for St. X in a game that you feel like you should handle, you'll get a lot of numbers in the game. But those guys get an opportunity to start and maybe get the ball early in the game. And the way Jack Albers has played, I'd want to be playing wide receiver or running back, especially with that offensive line.
Albers took some shots last week. He was in the ice bucket on Monday, but he is ready to go tonight. He's a tough kid.
Oh, he is, completing over 60% of his passes. The secondary guy to run the football, but we saw last week, I think, a lot of different guys, handle the ball, and I think that's what you'll see tonight. I think they'll start out, with Albers and Moretti running that read, and Jack Albers has done an excellent job of reading, making the right calls. Every once in a while, you expect you're not going to make it, but I think the Tigers will really try to diversify it early in the game.
It's a Fairdale team that comes in here 1-1 tonight, a victory last week over Nelson County. They lost their opener to Shelby County. They're out here just to get experience for those 5A playoffs, Tony. It's a small squad, and these numbers are going to be fun to look at tonight too.
Yeah, white shirts, white pants, and silver numbers. Which
I think they're white numbers.
If you're watching it on,
it's just an outline.
If you're watching it online, you might be able to see it a little better because it's going to be closer. But me and you and Rob Schweitzer, the PA guy, are going to struggle.
At our age, it's hard enough to see these numbers with binoculars. Not helping with my eyesight.
Not a bit.
So the Tigers come in here tonight, as we say, 2-0. They haven't been 3-0 since 2008, a team that started 12-0, won every game by at least 23 points before they got upset by Trinity in the state quarterfinals. Hard to believe that a St. X team has gone 9 years without being 3-0.
Well, my philosophy on that. Back in the day, had Iroquois and Atherton and a lot of teams on the schedule that weren't very good teams. And you pick up Cincinnati St. X, you pick up Bowling Green. You're starting your season down there normally in the Bluegrass Bowl, and you're playing a pretty good team. And then you get Bowling Green, and Bowling Green's been the thorn in the Tigers' side for the last 3, 4, 5 years. And but, yeah, you wouldn't expect that. But this team right here, can win a lot of football games, and I expect them after winning tonight. They look at Central and a really good PRP and a Trinity team, so they're going to be moving along and hopefully getting things shored up.
As we look ahead of the schedule, let's assume the Tigers take care of business tonight. They go to Central next week. They should win that one. That Pleasure Ridge Park game on the road right before the Trinity game. We saw what PRP did at home against Bowling Green, who we saw last week. We know that's a good team. That's a scary game right there in the middle.
Yeah, but I think the Tigers will get the respect of them because of the Bowling Green game. If it wasn't a Bowling Green game in there and PRP maybe took care of just their business like they're doing, it might be one to kind of overlook. But, yeah, it's always set up that way, but that's a really good PRP team. And that's when I think next week against Central, if they take care of business tonight, Central hasn't given up any points. Not the same caliber, but it'll give a little bit of a stepping stone, and then you're really hitting the thick of that schedule with PRP and Trinity.
We'll take our first break of the night. I know coaches don't like to look ahead, but when we come back, we will look ahead to the playoffs. I know it's only week 3 for St. X and week 4 for some other teams, but we'll see. When would St. X and Trinity play in the playoffs this year? We'll let you know after this break. You're listening to St. X High School Football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. This is Larry.
All right, I'm sitting down now. I'm tired of this. I can't read my notes when I'm doing that.
Yeah,
You're
can.
killing me.
There's that if you want to hold that.
No, you get it. I'm going to let you do it.
Okay.
Are we going to bag Trinity on because of what side they're on, or are we just going to talk about
We can talk about that. Interesting.
Will Wolford in his 5th season, and the Bulldogs 1-1 under head coach Lewis Dover in his 2nd season at Fairdale. Where did he come from, Tony?
Seneca over
Very
there
good.
with the Redhawks.
I knew I couldn't get one past you. You're a good goalie. Other games in town tonight, a couple of interesting matchups. The big game, of course, Trinity and Mayo, both teams 3-0 over at Mayo High School. They've had some great games between them in the last few years, Tony. I see Trinity winning this one easily, and maybe it's I'm just looking through some bad glasses. I don't know.
No, I think you're right on that one. Trinity's been very effective on offense, and Mail's not going to throw the ball more than likely, and if you try to line up and run the ball, it's going to be a long night, I think, for the Mail Bulldogs.
Yes, they're over on the old Durrett campus, Trinity and Mail tonight. Also some other teams in the Tigers district. Manual, who's 0-2, they're at home tonight against a Western team, a 5A team that's 1-2. If the Crimsons lose this one, Tony, things are falling apart.
A Manual team that's only given up 21 points in those 2 games, but they've only scored 10.
North Hardin is at PRP. We talked about PRP in the open, a very athletic, very talented, very good football team. They're big on both sides of the football. North Hardin 1-2. Certainly expect the Panthers to take care of business at home.
Well, Bowling Green put it to North Hardin the first week, so just by looking at those scores, yes, you got to say PRP in a big way, but you never know.
Fern Creek and Butler take on each other. 5A Fern Creek, 6A Butler in the Tigers district. Both teams 2-1. The Bears ranked 8th in the latest AP poll in the 6A. Butler's got something good going on over there. In Fern Creek, they've struggled a little bit.
A lot of teams in this district have good football teams, and Butler is an improving team, and I will take Butler in a close one.
2A DeSales is 3-0, but they're on a bye this week. 3-0 all home games. They'll get on the road for the first time next week, and the Holy Cross Cougars are at home tonight against Bardstown Bethlehem. Both teams there are 1-2. Playoffs are only a couple of months away, so we might as well talk about them. And for the first time in I don't remember how long, Tony, if St. X and Trinity were to match up, it would be in the state championship game this year in Lexington, Kentucky at Kroger Field.
Well, it would be, and it would be a great thing. It would be the first time down there in a long time in Lexington, and boy, that would be a good place to travel if you're a St. X or Trinity fan. But the way the district's set up this year, the number 1 region plays number 2, and I won't go through all the districts and stuff, but Trinity's the favorite in Region 2. Salmon, Kenton, and Ballard are the next 2 teams, and they would play. They get a good break, it seems like, every year, but their side's a little bit down. Number 14, Central Hardin, with Ohio County being a contender. Wow. So the other side is stacked with the St. X district, of course, with PRP, Mail, Butler, Manual. Those are the top teams, and then Ryle and Cooper and Connor in that. But if the Tigers, if everything held serve for right now, Scott County would be the other regional winner. And that would, if you go by who are the top contenders right now, Central Hardin versus Trinity, St. X versus Scott County, and then you would go to Lexington.
And the good news there, if St. X and Scott County continue to be number 1 and continue to be 1 seeds, that game would be played, that semifinal would be played right here at Brother Thomas More Stadium.
Exactly. It's an odd year for the regions, and this would be a perfect setup for that game if we would get there.
Both teams back in the locker room. We are about 12 minutes away from kickoff. We'll take another quick break. Come back with more here on the Eye Care Institute pregame report. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
I didn't even know I'm turning this down.
All right, Well, it's a standoff. Neither team wants to come out of the locker room. John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers, along with Tim Brown and Matt McCarthy on the stream. Again, if you're able to stream, you can listen to Tony and Jim and myself and watch the stream at livesportscaster.com, or you can go to saintx.com, saintx.com, and it's on there too when it's happening. You can go to Live Sportscaster anytime and watch an archive of the St. X Tiger home games. Well, let's look at this Fairdale team. Some of the stats. Marcus Cox is the quarterback. He's 12 of 25 on the year in 2 games, 223 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He doesn't like to run the football. Only 6 carries for negative 14 yards. Most of those have been sacks. A two-headed monster at running back, LaQuante Jackson, 21 carries for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Brashawn Barty, 19 carries, 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both of those guys, Coach Lewis Dover would love to try to get them the ball a lot and control the clock. It's up to the Tiger defense to not let them get a lot of yardage on the ground. 6 receivers with 2 catches apiece, led by Justice Montgomery. He's got 46 yards and 1 touchdown. Corey Morgan, 40 yards and a touchdown. But again, 6 different receivers lead the team with 2 catches apiece. Jonathan Morales, place kicker, has got 5 points after touchdown. They've intercepted 2 passes, 1 in each game. And Brashawn Barty returned an interception last week, 77 yards for a touchdown. Tony, look at some of the Tiger numbers.
Yeah, coming in tonight, Jack Albers, the quarterback, 21 for 34 for 265 and 1 touchdown pass. Jack has also carried the ball 35 times in those 2 games for 151 yards and 3 touchdowns. The main running back, who we're not going to see tonight, more than likely, John, Brett Metzmeyer, 46 carries, 293 yards and 4 touchdowns. So Anthony Moretti will get the carries tonight. He's carried it 8 times for 46 yards and a touchdown. And then if you look at the receiving core, the leading receiver is not going to play tonight. Will Crum, 5 receptions for 103. And then Ben Mueller's had 5 catches, too, for 87 yards.
And I think all 8 of Moretti's carries, if I'm not mistaken, Tony, were last week. I don't think he got any action in the opener against Indianapolis Cathedral.
You're
but
correct.
He looked good last week.
You are correct, John. He did, and they needed to get him carries.
We are going to stay here for the national anthem. Tigers, they got some numbers tonight as they line up between the 25s. Fairdale is all in one end zone. Captains are at midfield ready to go. But right now, our national anthem. Our national anthem. We'll take one more break, come back with the opening kickoff. We'll check in with Jim Brinkman and figure out who won the coin toss and what they decided to do. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
You've been listening to the extraordinary. Big Impact Group. Integrated, innovative marketing. Now let's go live to the field and join John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, and Todd Powers for tonight's big game.
Let this competition reflect mutual.
Hello again, everyone, from Brother Thomas More Stadium in St. X High School. John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers. St. X back home tonight to take on the Fairdale Bulldogs. The coin toss has occurred, and Jim Brinkman was there. Jimmy? Well, maybe Jim Brinkman was there.
There you go. Turn it on.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, Fairdale was won the toss, elected to receive. So St. X kicking off, and we'll see how it goes. By the way, guys, I brought a Sharpie out there, and I actually just went ahead and drew around the numbers, and you can see them a little bit better now.
No, we can't.
They're brutal, Jimmy, from up here reading those Fairdale numbers.
Brayshawn Barty is deep for the Bulldogs. Kyle Nally will kick it away for the Tigers toward the school building, away from the scoreboard, and we are just about set to go here on a gorgeous Friday night on Poplar Level Row. Nally puts his toe into it. It's going to be taken by Barty at about the 6-yard line up the right hash. Cuts inside at the 15, and he's hauled down right at the 20-yard line.
Ball is returned by number 14, Rashawn.
Nathan Skrodsky was there for the Tigers, along with Nathan Pike. And St. X will start first, Fairdale will start first and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Marcus Cox, co-captain, he's the quarterback, 5'11" senior. Doesn't like to run it himself, but he will give it to one of those two backs that have both gained over 100 yards. LaQuante Jackson, they call him Q over in Fairdale. He's the lone setback, and he'll get the call on first down, and he is hit and dropped immediately. That's Schaefer in there, makes the first hit of the game in the backfield. It's a loss of 3 back to the 18-yard line. And Connor Schaefer, Tony, beat his man.
He did. Defensive line played excellent last week, and just Fairdale tries to go inside, and he bounces it, and Connor Schaefer's there to make the play.
Quante Jackson's a 5'8" senior running back. 150 yards in his first 2 games. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for the Bulldogs. Cox takes a snap, rolls left, wants to throw. Now it breaks down, running to the left, in trouble. He's going to be hit and dropped right near the line of scrimmage at the 18, so it won't be a sack. It'll be no gain. Connor O'Day, co-captain for the Tigers tonight, able to bring him down.
Well, good job by Ryan Dobson from his nose tackle spot. He got to the outside and forced that play to not get up the field. And Dobson, I think, gets the credit for that play.
Ben Seeger, Ben Shugart, along with O'Day, and who was that 4th captain for the Tigers tonight, Tony?
Aaron Curley.
Aaron Curley, offensive lineman. Those are your 4 co-captains for St. X. 3rd down and 13 for the Bulldogs, back at their own 18-yard line. Jackson in the backfield with Cox. Takes a snap, rolls right, pressured, hit as he throws. It is intercepted. Connor O'Day comes down with it. It was right in his hands, intended for Barty. Barty makes the tackle at the 20, and the Tigers are set up first down right on the edge of the green zone. Actually at the 19 in the green zone, brought to you by the Eye Care Institute and Dr. Brennan Green.
Well, 2 of those D linemen we were just talking about put the pressure, and it was Dobson again with Ewells, and the ball comes out just kind of waddling over towards the St. X bench, picked off, and now the Tigers will take their first possession in Fairdale territory at the 19-yard line.
Jack Albers, a quarterback, 6'1", 175-pound senior. He's got Moretti, the junior, in the backfield with him. Will Ginter is to the right with Mueller, and the throw is to Ginter at the 20, 15, 10, 5, pushed forward and dropped at about the 2-yard line, a gain of 17. Just a little swing pass to Will Ginter. Got some good blocks from Mueller and Coleman.
Yeah, Mueller with a great job. It's just catch it, take it, get it out, and downfield. Ben Mueller doing a nice job, but Will Ginter using his quickness to get inside and take the ball down to the 2-yard line.
Trenton Zeller will come in at the H-back spot. Moretti will come out. Empty backfield for Albers, except for Zoller. Now Ginter in motion from right to left. He'll set up next to Jack. Option left, pitch to Ginter. Cuts inside, and he is in for the touchdown. Will Ginter, a catch for 17 and a run for 2 yards, and the Tigers score early.
Just a little simple option play. I think Jack Albert's had every intention to pitch it the whole way. And Will Ginter, who has not seen a lot of action here in the first 2 games with Brett Metzmeyer out of the game, gets the ball in his hands twice, gets it in the end zone. Tigers lead with 9:50 left in the first quarter, 6-0.
Natija in for the extra point try. Jude Carlton will hold it. Kick is up. Kick is through, and it is 7-0 Tigers. 9:50 to go, first quarter. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football, the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans. Want to learn more about how your eyes work? It's time you visit the Eye Care Institute. Again this year, Dr. Brennan Green has been named a top doc by Louisville Magazine. Dr. Green and the doctors at the Eye Care Institute can meet all your vision needs. For more information or to schedule an appointment with Dr. Green at the Eye Care Institute, visit eyecareinstitute.com or call 589-1500. That's 589-1500.
I'm pretty handy around my house and business, but there's one thing I leave to the pros, electrical work. And when I need it, I call Oldham County Electric. They're licensed contractors that do it all. Rewiring, room additions, lighting design, landscape lighting. They even have standby generators and offer 24-hour emergency.
All right, Jimmy, we're coming down after the kickoff.
Trust me, don't mess with electrical work. Contact Oldham County Electric.
I'm going to say it's good to see Will Ginter get some touches. Go, ball. Back at St. X, kickoff by Nally, taken by Barty. He gets to the 15. He's hemmed in right there and dropped. Skrodsky was there again for the Tigers.
Nathan Pike also there.
And Andrews Ogbagu was there as well. Jim Brinkman, Connor O'Day with a nice interception. But, boy, good to see Will Ginter get the ball in his hands a couple times.
Yeah, you can tell he's a little more forceful runner. Last year he kind of ran east and west. He just lowered his head and just plowed a Fairdale would-be tackler into the end zone. Hey, 3 plays for Fairdale, -1, and 2 plays for St. X, touchdown.
And almost an interception on the first play of this Fairdale drive. Cox a little high looking for Barty, was his intended receiver, went through his hands, and really Sam Borman was the closest Tiger.
Well, field position is one thing that's going to, if you're Coach Dover and the Fairdale Bulldogs, that you would like to have better of. If you're going to play in that end of the field, you're the big underdog anyway. But a quick pass to get it out, that's what they're looking to do. Try to maybe get the ball out quickly, move the chains, but just a little high on that pass over the middle.
Schaefer, Dobson, and Ewells across the front line for the Tigers. They've got Owen in there at one of the linebackers. I believe that's Schaffner at the other one. Tigers with 4 at the line of scrimmage right now on 2nd and 10. And a timeout, I believe, is going to have to be called by Fairdale. I'm not sure. One man went in motion, and I don't think Marcus Cox thought he was supposed to go in motion, so he just looked over the sideline, and Coach Lewis Dover said, give me a timeout.
Yeah, and it's a big step up in class for the Bulldogs. And when you come out, you're probably a little nervous anyway. Your guys aren't sure, and boy, the worst thing that could have happened to him on the first possession, the interception on the 3rd play. But Fairdale trying to get their feet under him, and right now it's struggling.
Talked to Will Wolford yesterday, Tony, about those front 3 guys. Of course, you got Ewells in there right now with Dobson and Schaefer. But last week, even on that first drive, it was a little platoon system. He brought 3 new guys in. He brought in Shugart and Nolan Bruner and Dennis Deemer. And then you also got Evan Walker out there basically playing a 4th down lineman from his linebacker spot. And Will told me yesterday, I just love platooning those guys like that. I can mix and match them, but I love sending 3 new guys out there because they're all getting the job done.
Yeah, Bruner and Deemer, I thought, played excellent with that second group.
2nd down and 10. Jackson in the backfield with Cox. He stands at his 10 as he takes the snap. In trouble. Schaefer hits him as he throws it and almost picked off by Netherton. That one intended for Jacoby Dixon, the junior, went through his hands a little bit high again, and Netherton was seeing a lot of green in front of him.
Yeah, they ran kind of a wheel route out to the outside, but they also ran a receiver out towards the sideline. So they had 2 guys in the area and about 3 Tigers. And, boy, you don't want to be throwing the ball into traffic if you're Marcus Cox.
Peyton Mattingly in there at one of the linebacker spots now. And it's good to see Harrison Pate, who was kept out last week, back in there at his starting cornerback position. He and Netherton at the corners.
It's Trotsky
Cameron
out
Garrett
here on the left side here.
Cameron Garrett and Sam Borman are the safeties. 3rd down and 10. Rolling left. Throws high and deep to the left side, and it's going to be picked off. And that is Harrison Pate running it back to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5. Dives for the end zone, and I think he got in. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. About a 33-yard interception return for Harrison Pate. Welcome back.
Great job by the Tiger defense, but Marcus Cox just goes back there and just kind of throws it up for grabs, and the Tigers, who are back there, and they have a convoy going into the end zone. And right at the end, if you're Pate, you have to get in the end zone, and actually Marcus Cox and Bart Tieber over there making the tackle, and Tigers go up 13-0 with 9:19 left here in the first.
So 6 offensive plays for the Bulldogs. 2 have resulted in interceptions. And there's going to be a flag here. Well, I don't see a flag. It certainly looked like Fairdale was trying to get guys on. They were offside. Doesn't matter. Matija knocks it through. It's 14-0 Tigers. And Jim, as a defensive back, Harrison Pate had to be thinking, I got to get this one in the end zone. He's down there talking to Katie George. Can you imagine that? Come on, Jim. Come on.
Well,
if you're a defensive back and you're Harrison Pate, and you get I'm going to ask you the question again since you obviously weren't paying attention to me. He gets that pick, his first career interception. He sees that yellow in the end zone. He's got to get there.
Oh yeah, but you know, if I had 10 blockers in front of me, even I would have scored in my number 86 football.
I don't know about that. We're going to get Tim Brown to put that 86 up. We're going to have that up every week. That if you're watching the stream, the Roger Bacon High School picture of Jim Brinkman in his uniform is priceless. 14-0 Tigers. Kyle Nally will kick it away again. I'm sure he wants to put one in the end zone.
Yeah, and we saw him kick one deep in there last week, but he's been short some, and we know he has the leg. Just got to get some confidence.
9:19 left here. Tigers with 2 touchdowns within a minute, and this one is going to be into the end zone. About 2 yards deep. Barty tries to bring it out, but it'll actually be the best starting. That's Q Jackson back there, but it'll actually be their best starting position of the night of their 3 drives for Fairdale. They'll start at the 20.
Yeah, and like I said just a second ago, when you're all back to the
Tony Burke. I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
I thought you were calling for a TO, too.
No, I'm saying I need some scores from across town. Actually, from down the street.
Well, this game hasn't been going very long, John. They haven't been playing very long over. I'll get some updates here in a few minutes.
A 2-yard run from Will Ginter and a 33-yard interception return from Harrison Pate. It is quickly 14-0 St. X, and the Bulldogs of Fairdale have a new quarterback in the game. We'll get his name after this first play. He hands it to Jackson running left. Gets about 5 before he's brought down. Andrews Ogbagu in there at cornerback came up to make the hit. Jonathan Farrell, sophomore, 5'10" quarterback, and he's a thick one. But that time he just handed it to Jackson, who got about 5 around left end. So some new numbers in there already. Cameron Sams, Tony, middle linebacker for the Tigers. Boy, he played great last week against Bowling Green. Shepard is in one of the cornerbacks along with Andrews Ogbagu. A couple new safeties in there as well. So the Tigers, and they got the platoon system in at defensive line, and one of those platoon men is Nolan Bruner, comes in and hits the running back, the co-captain, Bub Helton, 203-pound H-back for a loss of about 3 on the play back to the 22.
Well, Bruner came from the left side of the defense. I don't know if he was touched. He just beat the right tackle, and it was just a straight shot in there. So Bulldogs have 3rd down and 8 from their own 22-yard line. 8 minutes left here in the first quarter. Tigers already lead 14-0.
Jude Carlin, I'm going to say it right this time, is in at one of the safeties for the Tigers, along with Nathan Pike. 3rd down and 8 for Fairdale. Quick throw, high, left side, and overshooting well out of bounds on the Fairdale sideline. Good coverage, and a flag comes down on Desmond Andrews Ogbagu, and that's an awful call. That ball was 5 yards out of bounds.
Plus the receiver and the defensive back were out of bounds.
So it's going to be interference against Andrews Ogbagu. Questionable at best, but that'll give Fairdale their first down of the night. Hey, the Klein family's joined us. Look at this.
Whole bunch of them. They came up here to eat dinner.
Well, they're probably between practices. He really runs those kids ragged. Kevin Klein. How many years is this for him? Probably 8 or 9 now. Head coach of the Tiger basketball team. He's got the young ones up here with him tonight. So first down for Fairdale out at the 37-yard line. 7:47 left here in the first quarter. 14-0 Tigers. Bub Helton takes a snap, handoff up the middle, getting some positive yardage is Jackson. LaQuante Jackson got a couple out to the 39. Connor O'Day, who had the early interception tonight, makes the hit. Second down and 8 for Fairdale Bulldogs. Ball on the left hash mark. And Helton goes all the way, my favorite play, of course, go all the way to the sideline, get the play, and then run back out. You got to call it. You got to get it all done in about 25 seconds. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. On 2nd and 8. He wanted to throw it quickly. It wasn't there, and there's a sack for Nolan Bruner. Down goes Helton back at the 34-yard line, a loss of 5. It was just supposed to be a quick slant, Tony, but Helton didn't see anything he liked, held on to it, and took the shot.
Yeah, Bruner, once again, he's just beating his guy over here, and that's not good if you're standing back there playing quarterback when you see the defensive end coming untouched at you. And, boy, I'm telling you, he just came through and once again clean, and that's not what you want to do for the Fairdale Bulldogs.
Back to the 34-yard line. I'll bring up 3rd and 13 for Fairdale. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Jackson in the backfield, and he'll get the call up the middle. He's got some yardage. Going to be brought down well short of the first down, across the 40. Tackled there. Evan Walker and Doug Schaffner combine on the tackle, and Fairdale will have to kick it away. First possession they've had tonight that did not result in a turnover.
And a good-looking play that gets up in there, but Tigers do a good job of making sure the Bulldogs don't get the first down, and they're going to kick it away from about their own 33.
Isaac Reidner is in to punt it away. Boy, he's almost standing too close to the center. Fair catch taken by Seeger at the 35-yard line. It's a 22-yard kick and no return. Tigers will take over 1st and 10 there with 5:40 to go in the first quarter, leading it here 14-0, about what we expected. Yeah, and the Tiger offense really hasn't had to do a whole lot because an interception for a touchdown on the last one, interception, 3 or 4 plays, how many ever the drive was, you want to call it a drive, but they take over with their worst field position here the first quarter at their own 35. Harkins is wide to the right, Coleman and Mueller to the left. Moretti's the tailback. Zoller in front of him. Give it to Anthony. He's got 5. He's got 10. Right up the gut. He's across midfield and hauled down from behind. A nice carry. Good blocking at the point of attack. LaQuante Jackson able to make the tackle at the 47-yard line.
Well, he went 15 yards before he was touched right up the middle.
It's a gain of 18 and a first down. Faked him already. Quick throw to the right. Harkins may have been hit before the ball got there. It was close. No flag. So since there's no flag, we'll call it good coverage by Trey McCoy, the corner.
Yeah, McCoy was right there as the ball got there, and questionable at best, but incomplete. Nice job by the Bulldogs. Tigers faked the little handoff to Moretti that time after he gets a big gain. Tries to get it out quickly, and it goes incomplete.
And Bryson Harkins, he should get some shots tonight with Crum and Allgaier out of this game. Jet sweep, they give it to Coleman. He's got the corner, 45, cuts inside, tripped up at the 40, falls forward right at the first down marker, and I think he's got it. He does have it to the 37-yard line, a gain of 10. And Andre Coleman has shown in these first 3 games, Tony, he can get to that corner quickly.
Well, we saw him in the JV game do it against Trinity, and then last week, boy, he really turned one up and took off with it, and that's what you want to see. It makes him honor that jet sweep and really opens up the interior to run the football.
2 to the left, Harkins to the right. That's the short side. Albers in the shotgun to Moretti, right up the gut. Big hole, 35, 30. Cuts it back to the right side of the 25, back inside of the 20. And a couple of Bulldogs bring him down inside the 20-yard line. Another first down for the Tigers. Gain of 19 for Anthony Moretti. Tigers in the green zone, brought to you by the Eye Care Institute and Dr. Brennan Green.
Well, Moretti goes about 15 yards again before he gets touched.
Here he gets the call again up the middle. Another big hole. That offensive line opening holes, and he's going to walk in for the touchdown. Anthony Moretti from 18 yards out. And the Tigers with their third touchdown of the quarter.
And Coach Lewis Dover from the Fairdale Bulldogs couldn't have the game start any worse than it has with 2 interceptions, and the Tigers march right down the field. So 20-0, 4:45. Alan Matija already on the field for the third time.
And Jude Carlin will hold it. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick from Alan Matija. It's 21-0 Tigers. 4:45 to go here in the first quarter. Jim Brinkman, it's alumni night tonight. What's the crowd looking like over here?
Crowd looked really good. The crowd was very large underneath the tent over on the soccer field. Definitely a lot of St. X alumni. A lot of the older guys are here. A lot of the younger guys just coming out and kind of finding out more and more about this St. X football team and what Coach Wooford has put together in the program. This is year 5 of Coach Wooford, and you can definitely see that they are one of 7 teams that are still undefeated in the 6A. Of course, 3 of them are in our district. All right, so. Anyway, so we have a tough road to go, but so far 21-0 looks pretty good here from the St. X side of the field.
And Tony, you said I don't know if you said it pregame or we were talking off the air. This team's flown under the radar after these first 2 games. 2 good wins against 2 good opponents, but nobody really talking about them.
Well, for Coach Wolford, we talked about too that you got to like that as Kyle Nally attacks the football.
Q Jackson is deep. This one's high. It's inside the 5, but it won't get to the end zone until he muffs it. Now it goes in the end zone for the touchback. Public address announcer Rob Schweitzer just announced and we want to congratulate as well Justin Thomas on his PGA Championship victory, but even more so on his Dell Technologies win last week. He's number 2 in the FedEx Cup standings now, Tony, just barely behind his good buddy Jordan Spieth. So no tournament this weekend, but Tiger Nation will be pulling for Justin in the next couple weeks.
It'd be hard to believe if he's not the player of the year on the PGA Tour. So congratulations to St. X graduate. Old guy, 24 years old, but just making a little bit of money on the tour.
And if you get a chance on the Golf Channel, a great episode of Faraday, the season finale, they'll rerun those. So look it up, as David Faraday had a 1-hour interview with Justin Thomas, and it was fantastic. Hilton back in at quarterback, takes a snap. It looked to me that time, Tony, like Tigers came offside just a little bit early. I think Dobson got across early.
And I don't think it was a case of listening to the count. I think he was anticipating the count. Just barely, it was close. He might have not have even got across, but it was close enough. Well, actually, it's a legal procedure on the Bulldogs.
Well, it had to be an illegal snap then, because Dobson right on the nose came through there. So perhaps the center a little shaky with the football. You have to remember the Tigers already have a couple of sacks and a couple of interceptions, so that offensive line struggling right now for Fairdale. They move it back to the 15. 1st and 15. Hilton takes the snap, hands it off up the middle to Jackson, fights his way, hard running for Q Jackson to get about 3 out near the 18-yard line. They'll still be 2nd and long.
Patrick Owen in there, and I didn't get the other number.
Jackson, 21 carries, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns this year so far against Shelby County and Nelson County. But Bulldogs finally going a lot tougher against this St. X defense, which I thought got a lot better last week.
Well, that tackle actually was by 62. Charlie Fussenegger, I want to make sure and we get him in there.
Absolutely. Charlie's in there along with Michael Houlihan, the linebacker. 2nd and 12. Hand off to Jackson. Tries to go left. Now cuts it back inside against the grain. Hitting the backfield. Now goes back the other way. And finally Skrodsky, with some help, is going to bring him down. He just kept running into a team picture of the St. X defense. Andrew Ewells was there as well.
We did a nice job, actually, of cutting it back, and Tigers were out there, and Houlihan did a nice job on the outside of staying at home from the other linebacker spot to slow that play down, and then a host of Tigers come in.
Loss of a yard on the play, back to the 17. Be 3rd and 13 for the Bulldogs.
Quick score, district opponent Butler up 14-7 on Fern Creek early.
I keep looking for those play clocks we had in the end zones out at Bowling Green last week. We don't have them here. Need to get those. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and 2 in the backfield with Helton. Takes a snap, wants to throw. Both running backs stayed in to help protect, and it's picked off by Netherton at the 35. Down the left sideline to the 20, cuts inside, and he is going to be brought down right at the 15-yard line by a host of Bulldogs. Justice Montgomery was the intended receiver. But again, Tony, he overshoots him, and Netherton with the interception. And run back, 3rd pick of the night for the Tigers, and there's still 2:50 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Bulldogs, they're just trying too hard on 3rd down just to throw it down the field, and you just throw it up for grabs, and bad things are happening because there's a lot of green jerseys around. And once again, a very short field for the Tigers here in the first quarter as they lead 21-0.
Tigers start in the green zone, brought to you by the Eye Care Institute. Dr. Brendan Green at the 15, 1st and 10. Moretti in at tailback, Zoller in at H-back. 3 receivers, Albers in the backfield. Fakes it, rolls left, has Zoller out of the backfield at the 12, and he's going to walk in for the touchdown. Trenton Zoller, I believe his first touchdown of the season. 15 yards from Albers.
Yeah, John, I don't have any numbers on the stat sheet for Trenton Zoller, but he catches it at about the 12 and doesn't even get touched till he's 3 or 4 yards back in the end zone, and just a little bootleg pass that he gives a chance to get his senior H-back an opportunity to score, and the Tigers go up 27-0 here in the first. And
I would sock that play away, Tony, because there was nobody with Trenton Zoller, and if nobody's going to go with him, then he's open. And is that fair to say?
That is fair.
Garland will hold it. Matija will kick it. It's 28-0 Tigers. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Well, Jim, if you're the H-back, you block a lot. But, boy, when you get a chance to catch one out of the backfield and nobody's near you, that's got to be fun.
I think I have a prediction that by the end of the night, there'll be a lot of people having fun. You know, I got to give some love to Bryson Harkins. He had his defensive back sealed, and so, basically Zoller once again had the John Spears driveway into the end zone. Tigers are just doing a lot of good fundamental things tonight, blocking, tackling, getting penetration, putting pressure on that quarterback. Netherton, just looked like a center fielder going over and just catching the ball and returning it, for that interception. 3 times they've picked them off tonight, so I think you really picked it out. They're really trying to do too much on 3rd down, and the Tigers are putting them in 3rd and long.
3 different Tigers with interceptions tonight. Harrison Pate scored the touchdown with his, but the first one was picked off by Connor O'Day, and this most recent one by Jake Netherton. Matija this time gets the kickoff duty, and it's down the left side and rolls into the end zone. It had a shot to roll out of bounds, but took a right turn and went into the end zone, and Fairdale will start at their own 20. 2:42 to go here in the first quarter. 28-0. Tigers lead it, trying to improve to 3-0 for the first time since 2008.
Well, score from over on the Old Dirt campus, John. The Rocks have gone up 7-0 with 2:26 left in the first quarter. And according to what I'm reading here, that Trinity has had the dominated field position early in the game, and they lead the Bulldogs from Mel 7-0.
Don't forget, you can listen to the Sunday Sports Wrap-Up Show on WXVW, the Big X 1450, with me. Special guest this Sunday night will be Tom Lane as he's heading back from the North Carolina-Louisville game. It'll be after Indianapolis Colts football on the Big X on Sunday night. Hilton from the shotgun hands it to Jackson up the middle, and Shugart, second man to get a hold of him. First guy there was Skrodsky, Nathan Skrodsky. We call his name a lot on special teams, Tony. Skrodsky's usually the first guy, one of the first guys down there on kick and punt coverage, getting some shot at linebacker tonight.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of guys, but he's very quick and aggressive to the football, and nice play right there.
Eric Lyons in, the defensive back now for the Tigers. Shepard is the cornerback along with Andrews Ogbagu. And Pike still in at safety. 2nd down and 10 after no gain. Hilton in the shotgun, takes a snap, wants to throw. Has time, throws to the left, has a man open at the 21, fighting his way near the first down marker. I think he's a little short at about the 29-yard line.
Nathan Pike comes over to make the play. And John looks up. They're going to be a couple yards short, it looks like, maybe about a yard and a half.
Jason Jackman made the catch, the sophomore, and he was open out of the backfield.
Yeah, just a little pass out into the flat, run everybody down and get it out. And I think that's what Fairdale's game plan kind of was early, but you turn it over and then you try to make a play and you turn it over and things just snowball and get worse. But the Bulldogs have the ball at their own 29, 3rd and a long one.
One setback. Actually, an I formation under center this time is Helton. Got a fullback and a tailback, and it's Jackson that gets the call. Oh, they wanted to give it to him. Somebody went the wrong way, either Helton or Jackson. And Helton will be brought down short of the first down. Loss of about a half yard on the play. Helton turned left. Jackson went right, Tony, and there was nobody to give the ball to.
No, and that's a bad feeling as a quarterback. When you turn around and there's nobody there, good things aren't going to happen.
Tigers will stay in their, well, now they are going to send the punt return team out. Ben Seeger, no, that's Andrew Zogbagu deep for the Tigers. Radner wants to kick it away. Does so, boots it out of there quickly. Ogbagu takes it, fumbled it. It bounced right back up to him. Took it at the 47 and hit and dropped at the 47. That is DeJuan Small, the senior linebacker, who hit him. And luckily for Desmond Andrews Ogbagu, that ball bounced right back up to him.
Looks like we have a switch at quarterback here as Keegan Sullivan comes in to lead the Tigers as the Tigers lead 24-0. 1 minute left here in the first quarter.
Sullivan, the junior, takes a snap, hands it off, running left with a big hole across the 50, across the 45, spins back inside. That is Miles Harris. We've seen him run some kicks back, but his first carry of the year, and he gets 11 yards to the Fairdale 43 and a first down.
And what I like Sullivan did right there, after he handed off, he played the fake out and just made sure that, you have to do that. Sullivan, a good player, just playing behind a really good one in Jack Albers.
Keegan in the pistol, takes it. Here's Harris again, up the middle, big hole. He's got a lot of room to the 30. One man to beat to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and he dives for the end zone, and he stepped out at the 3-yard line. 40 yards on the carry. And again, Tony, those guys up front doing the job. You still got 6 up there with Canaday and all of those guys. Ferris still in the game, Wyatt Smock. So the starting line, Curley, the co-captain tonight, they're just opening holes for the Tigers.
Well, Miles Harris, a junior, showing really nice quickness getting through that line of scrimmage.
Here's Sullivan in the shotgun. He'll give it to Harris again, right up the gut, and he walks in. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. Miles Harris from 3 yards out, and he deserved that one.
He did, and just a great job of blocking. Wyatt Smock pulls and just unfortunately annihilates one of the Bulldogs, and it's what you're kind of glad if you're the Tigers, and you're kind of not glad that you're up 34. You never not want to be up 34, but here in the first quarter, it's going to be a quick game with a running clock more than likely, and a lot of guys will play, and you kind of feel for the Bulldogs here early in the game.
Well, if you're Fairdale, you wanted to control the ball, get some first downs, and they just haven't been able to do that. They've turned it over with 3 interceptions. They have 1 first down, and that was by penalty. Matija 5 for 5 now in extra points as he knocks this one through. So the game plan, I think, Tony, was let's try to get a few first downs here and there, control the clock, and make St. X drive the length of the field. Tigers, I believe, have only started 2 drives. They've started 2 of their 4 drives in their own territory, but 2 of them deep in Fairdale territory, plus they have the pick 6.
Yeah, and it's I mean, you really do have to feel for Fairdale. They have stepped up in class here today, and they're playing. They're just so outmatched at the line of scrimmage. And it's been on both sides of the ball, and unfortunately for those guys lining up on that defensive line, they're looking at a huge St. X offensive line who has been good against everybody, not just against Fairdale. And boy, there was guys laying on the ground, and if you're a guy like Miles Harris and you get into the end zone, you don't even get touched.
Rayshawn Barty is deep for the 6th kickoff for the Tigers tonight, 2nd for Alan Matija. When you kick it off 6 times in the first quarter, you're doing something right. Barty stands at his 1-yard line. Matija kicks it high. It's going to come up short, taking it about the 7 on the run by Barty. He's to the 20 and dropped right there. I think he kind of ran into his own man. First Tiger there was Troy Embry, backup defensive back. He'll get credited for that tackle. Fairdale will start 1st and 10 at their own 21 with 28 seconds left here in the first quarter. Some new numbers on the defensive line. Brandon Petrie is in now at the nose. Deemer back in there for the Tigers. Snap taken by Helton. Running to the right is Jackson, tripped up from behind. Ethan Pruitt, the defensive back, came in there along with Charlie Fusenegger to knock him off his feet. Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 as the first quarter comes to an end. 35-0. St. X leads it after 1. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
In my house, watching the game.
Nothing. 1 defensive score. The interception return for a touchdown from Harrison Pate. Will Ginter, Anthony Moretti, and Miles Harris have touchdown runs. Jack Albers has a touchdown pass to Trenton Zoller. And it has been all Tigers here tonight. 2nd and 7, Fairdale. They'll start the second quarter at their own 23-yard line. Helton still in at quarterback. Gives it to Barty, running to the right, being chased, flag down in the backfield. And he is chased down that time by Stephen Bruce, the linebacker. I think it's going to be a hold against the Bulldogs, and things just went from bad to worse for Lewis Dover's team.
Yeah, they've been more effective trying to get around the outside, and that's what they tried to do. But on the interior, somebody must have got a hold of somebody. And into the first quarter over on the dirt campus, Trinity leads Male 7-0.
You know, so far, Tony, in 5 possessions, this will be their 6th possession, I believe. Fairdale has not gotten past their own 37-yard line, and that was because of an interference penalty.
Yeah, and it's just hits keep coming, unfortunately, for the Fairdale Bulldogs.
Ball moved back to the 9-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 22 for the Bulldogs.
And, John, this is a tough game for both coaches to coach. If you're a St. X, you want to play everybody. You want them to play hard. You don't want to embarrass the other team. And if you're Fairdale Coach Lewis Dover, you're trying to keep your guys, morale up, because this game's not going to mean anything to Fairdale down the year, but you don't want to, get bad taste in your mouth.
2 receivers each way on 2nd and long. Now Montgomery comes over to the left to put 3 on that side. Q Jackson in the backfield with Helton. Helton takes a snap, wants to throw. Throws, and it's incomplete, and a flag comes down toward Fusenegger as there was a bit of a collision between Fusenegger and Jacoby Dixon. It might be interference against the Tigers. That's exactly what it is.
And I think it was just it was very simple. I think they just kind of ran into
Yeah.
each other. He was running a pattern. He didn't really reach out and grab him or hit him. They just ran into each other, but the ball was in the air. So Fairdale gets to move the ball all the way out to their own 24-yard line.
Not enough for the first down. It's still going to be second down and about 7 after the 15-yard penalty. So a hold against Fairdale pushed them back deep into their territory, and now the interference against the Tigers gets them out of the shadow of their own end zone. And a whistle. And the referee will send Embry, I believe, off the game for or Stephen Bruce, excuse me, with a equipment issue.
Jake Archer comes in the game for him.
Second down, 7 for the Bulldogs, 11:23 to go here in the first half. Helton's got Jackson in the backfield with him. Barty and Dixon to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Hand off to Jackson up the middle. He's got a hole. Oh, boy, it closed quickly. Ben Thompson, the defensive lineman, put a shot on Jackson. It looked like he was going to get a lot more than 2 yards, Tony, but that's all he got.
Interesting score here into the first quarter. E-Town 9, Cal 0.
Now, E-Town's good now. E-Town's one of the top teams in their division. But we know how good Christian Academy has been so far last year and this year. Third down. 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs at their own 27-yard line. Under center this time is Helton. Got an eye backfield behind him. Gives it the second man, Jackson. There's just nowhere to go. The ball came out, and the Tigers have it. Jake Archer comes out of there with the football. I don't think it was Barty, not Jackson in the backfield. And I don't think Barty ever had the football, Tony. It came out, and Jake Archer falls on it at the 26-yard line.
And a lot of new Tigers come in the football game on that offensive line. They've switched them all out, John.
Tigers set up 1st and 10, and they send 4 receivers in the pattern. Sullivan in the backfield. Quick throw to the left. Caught by Harkins. Gets a block out there. Gets inside the 20. Fights his way down near the first down marker. Just running out of real estate over there. And there's a flag on the play now at the 21. And one of those receivers out in front of him is going to be called for holding. I'm going to let you give some of these old lineman names. I know you love the big guys.
I sure do. Cade Parham in there at a guard. Ben Chambers. I'm trying to run these real quick by you. Jack Hummel. It's hard to get my numbers here. We also got Parker Noll in at tackle.
All move back to the 31, and it'll be 1st and 15 for the Tigers. Pistol formation. Miles Harris gets the carry, running right. He's got a lot of room again. Spins at the 25, goes outside to the 20. Gets a block from Coleman at the 15 to the 10, and hauled down inside. Ball came out, was he down? It came out into the end zone, and I think the Tigers fell on it. Officials talking things over. Harkins fell on
comes
it.
Out with the football.
It's a touchdown. Well, Harris got it all the way inside the 5, down near the 3, and it squirted out. Jim, you were right there. What happened?
I'm going to respectfully say that Harkins recovered the dead ball.
So you really think Harris was down already, huh?
Harris actually reached. He was stopped. He reached forward. The ball came out as he hit into the end zone, and Harkins recovered the fumble regardless.
Well, I watched the replay, John, and he was down. He reached out, and Jim's exactly right. When the ball hit the ground at about the 2, it went forward, and now Kyle Nally comes on to attempt the extra point.
And Harkins will hold it for him. Kicks it up and through. It's 42-0 Tigers. We'll have a running clock, and we'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School Football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. So that is...
I missed a lineman. I got to watch where.
Tigers. His third kickoff of the night. This one's high and short and taken by one of the up men at about the 15-yard line. He squirts through to the 30, and then a host of Tigers will bring down Hayden Horn, defensive back, backup defensive back. A stream of Tigers.
Well, Ben Chambers was there. Dane Roof were the first two guys there.
David Hall was there as well for the Tigers. So 1st and 10, Fairdale at their own 33-yard line, and this is about the earliest I can remember the Tigers having a running clock, Tony, in my years of doing this.
And unfortunately, if you're over on the Fairdale side, and they didn't bring too bad a crowd, actually. The Bulldogs, they don't have a lot of numbers over there, but it was a decent little crowd, and you just feel for them right now down this much this early in the game.
And I've been calling him Bub Helton, but it's Jonathan Farrell, the quarterback, in there. He hands it off, running to the left, breaking a tackle, but not breaking the second tackle is Q Jackson.
Stephen Bruce.
And there is a flag on the play. Big hit from Stephen Bruce. And that's a block in the back, it looks like, against the Fairdale Bulldogs. So that'll move them back. Clock stops on penalties. Now, it's not going to stop anymore on incomplete passes or guys going out of bounds. The only way to stop it is a penalty and a timeout, and once the penalty's called, they'll start it back up.
Well, Eric Fair and Brandon Bischoff at the corners right now. Dane Roof at one of the safeties, and the other safety, this is Eric Lands.
Fairdale goes back to huddle up.
Trevor Am back in at the one outside linebacker, trying to get these guys' names on there for you real quickly.
Absolutely.
Cameron Wilson at the other outside linebacker.
We know the grandparents are listening somewhere. Jackson in the backfield with Farrell. Takes the snap. Give it to Jackson. Up the middle. Big hole. Across the 35 to the 40. He's loose at midfield and pushed out of bounds on the Tigers sideline.
Stephen Bruce again.
Stephen Bruce again. First time that the Bulldogs have gotten into St. X territory. He stopped at the 42-yard line. And it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
And a nice big hole opened up by the Bulldog offensive line on the left side that time. And they get into Tiger territory at the 42-yard line. 42-0 Tigers here in the second quarter. 7:25 running clock here.
And I believe that's the first down for the Bulldogs that wasn't by penalty. Two receivers to the right. Dixon to the left. Two backs in the backfield with Farrell as he takes the snap. He'll hand it to Barty running right. Breaks one tackle. Gets away from Bruce. He's down the right sideline to the 30, 25. Tried to cut back inside, and he's brought down about the 19-yard line. Bruce in on the tackle. Nick Irwin makes the tackle.
Alex Feller there too.
Also.
Well, this is definitely the farthest the Bulldogs have been into St. X territory, inside the green zone at the 19-yard line.
It's a 23-yard gain.
I'm going to bet you right.
Down.
I'm going to bet you right now, John. Almost everybody on the defense has already played.
Well, they've had ample opportunities.
Now, offensively, a little different because they haven't had the ball very long. The Tigers.
This is the 7th possession for the Fairdale Bulldogs. Three receivers to the left. And Jacoby Dixon to the short side of the field, the right. Farrell takes a snap. Hands it off. Not much room there. And Stephen Bruce got some help from Trevor Ambach. It's Dylan Williams on the carry, the senior running back. More of a linebacker, I think, than a running back, but he's in there to get a carry here. Lost a couple on the play, back to the 21. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
Also Brendan Petrie in there on the play.
Here comes Ryan Skeeters in at defensive back. He'll play safety.
Yeah, to my knowledge, John, this is as many guys playing on defense in the first half as the Tigers have probably, I'm not going to say ever, but there can't be a whole lot more. 5:20 left here in the first half. Tigers lead 42-0.
Three receivers to the left on 2nd and 12. Jackson in the backfield with Farrell. Farrell takes a snap, wants to throw, does throw, caught by Dixon at the 12, dropped right there.
Jackson Bunning.
Alex Feller, the linebacker, was there as well. It's a gain of about 9 down to the 12-yard line to bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Bulldogs as we're under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. The rest of this half and that second half is going to fly by.
Yeah, it will. And, you want these guys all get their opportunities, but it goes so quickly that when that second half goes, man, we'll just be running names in, running names out, and the clock will be gone.
On 3rd and 3, Montgomery comes wide to the left. 2 backs in the backfield with Farrell. It's Helton and Bartee. And he gives to Bartee. He is hit and dropped short of the first down. Good penetration by Ben Thompson, the defensive lineman. Knocked him off his feet at the 10. It's a gain of a couple. Just short of the 10. It'll bring up 4th down and a long yard here for the Bulldogs.
And you figured they were going to run it there twice, and hard not to say it was going to be 4-down territory when you trail by as many as the Bulldogs do here.
Deemer comes back in for the Tigers. Brandon Petrie will be on the nose guard. And David Hall, this is a linebacker. He is lined up at defensive end. 4th down and a long yard. Bartee and Helton in the backfield with Farrell. Takes a snap. Give it to Bartee running right. He's got the first down. Fights his way inside the 5. Not much more as he is pushed back there. They'll give him the 4-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. Victor George, one of the first tacklers for the Tigers. 3:10 to go here in the half. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. 1st and goal Bulldogs at the 4. Ben Thompson back into the game on that front 3 for the Tigers. Bub Helton and Q Jackson line up in the backfield with Farrell. He'll give it to Jackson, running right, cuts inside, and he's in for the touchdown for the Fairdale Bulldogs. LaQuante Jackson from 4 yards out.
And just a little off guard in between the tackle, and a nice job by the Bulldogs up front to open the hole. Jackson goes in. So with 2:35 left in the first half, Bulldogs get on the board for the first time. Tigers lead 42-6 with the extra point coming. Try to get you some scores, updated on some scores here in just a minute.
Jonathan Morales will come in for the extra point for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs got 12 guys out there. Somebody better tell them. And there's a whistle and a flag. I counted them twice, so
you were always good at math.
Fairdale, before the snap, gets a illegal participation call. That'll move them back 5 yards. And now somebody finally going to head off. And the 20-yard extra point now becomes a 25-yard extra point for Morales.
Over at the Old Derrick campus, 14-0 Trinity. We gave that score a little bit. Mill has -1 yards of total offense.
High snap. They got it down. Morales kicks it up and kicks it through. 42-7 St. X. 2:35 to go in the half. You're listening to St. X High School football, the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. Jack Gapin. And a nice run back all the way to the 45-yard line, about a 20-yard run back for Gapin as he picked the ball up just rolling down the field.
Yeah, kind of rolling over by the sideline, and Jack said, I better pick it up, and he does a nice job getting it out to the 45.
Kleinekraut in a quarterback for the Tigers. Handoff up the middle, big hole across midfield, across the 40-yard line goes Austin Mayer all the way down to the 37-yard line. 18 yards on the run up the middle for Austin Mayer. Is John Kleinekraut.
Senior.
5'9", 170-pound senior. Son of Joe, class of 81.
81.
Hello to Joe. Here's Mayer again up the middle. Big hole again. Cuts left to the 30. Fights his way down near the first down marker. He'll be short of it by about a yard at the 29-yard line. And the problem if you're Will Wolford here, Tony, you don't want to put it in the air, but there's a minute 15 to go. You got a running clock. You got subs in the game, and you want to give them a chance to score.
Well, I didn't give Reed Knable at center a call with that offensive line.
Kleinekraut on 2nd and 1. Takes a snap. Option to the right. Keeps it. Good decision. He's across the 25 to the 20. Cuts back left at the 15. And he's pushed back right there. Gain of 13 for John Kleinekraut, and a good decision.
Well, Tigers are probably going to get one more play here with this running clock, and it's down to 40 right now. And
they're not in a big hurry to get the play call in. And again,
that's probably the right thing.
Probably the right decision. But you know, these guys on the field, they want to score.
A little confusion right now.
Jake Schoen in at H-back. In motion to the left. Handoff, running to the 10,
Gapin.
to the 5. It's Gapin, and he's pushed out at the 2-yard line. And if the Tigers don't call timeout.
And they won't.
That'll end this first half. Kleinekraut looks over like, can I please call timeout? I'm only 2 yards from
Coach
the end
Wolford's
zone.
already at midfield, John.
But that will end the first half. We'll get the thoughts of the head coach. 42-7. It's obviously the right decision there, Tony, but you know those 3rd and 4th stringers
Oh, boy.
are saying, come on,
You're
coach.
dying standing there at the 1-yard line, and you haven't even touched the ball in the regular season, and you're wanting to get it in. And Gapin, they run the sweep, and he almost fights his way into the end zone. So I don't think Coach Wolford's going to have a whole lot to say. He didn't even talk to the team very long.
Yeah, Gapin got about 12 yards on that one down to the 2-yard line. See if we can find Jim in this mess. There he is. Jim, you got the coach.
All right, you're of the first.
On film, this is the Fairdale team we played a couple years ago. We had a couple dudes who could really go or not. And they do have some guys, but obviously they're overmatched. Every player in the first. Everybody will get reps tonight.
And anything specifically you want to accomplish the second half?
Got 8 staff for the game.
Well, we're having some audio difficulties
Quarter and
here.
see how they do. And I know every senior. So I'm happy with that part.
All right, we got a little bit of what Coach Wolford was saying there, Tony, but I think basically what he said to Jim was we're going to get everybody in and give them a chance to make some plays in the second half.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. And sorry about the technical difficulties there. But, yeah, it's about the guys that practice every day and work really hard and don't get the opportunities. And that's what the guys that start pull for, too. They pull for those guys to get their opportunity because they work all year long, too.
We'll take a break. Eye Care Institute halftime report is next. 35-point first quarter for the Tigers. They lead it here at halftime, 42-7. I want to alert Kevin back at the stage. 6 leads Fairdale here at halftime. Tony has a look at the overwhelmingly one-sided numbers.
Yeah, Tigers have only carried the ball 13 times for 205 yards. Fairdale 21 for 60 yards. Tigers completed 3 out of 5 passes. Bulldogs 2 for 9, but 2 interceptions. So you're looking at 227 to 108 in total yards, but the Bulldogs have actually run 13 more plays. So 12 and a half yards per play for the Tigers to 3.5 for the Bulldogs, and that kind of tells the story right there. A couple interceptions early in the game. Tigers get that huge first quarter lead, and they lead by 35 here at halftime.
It started with a Will Ginter 2-yard run after the first Tiger interception of the night. Tigers led at 7-0. Next Fairdale possession, Harrison Pate picked off a pass at the 33-yard line, took it in from there. It was 14-0 Tigers with 9:19 to go in the first. Next possession, Anthony Moretti with an 18-yard touchdown run made it 21-0 Tigers. Trenton Zoller then wide open on a 15-yard little screen pass to the H-back from Jack Albers. It was 28-0, and then in the last 30 seconds of the half, Miles Harris, who I thought had a good audition here tonight with a 3-yard touchdown run. It was 35-0 St. X after 1 quarter of play. Bryson Harkins recovered a fumble in the end zone for a 42-0 Tiger lead with 9:44 to go in the second quarter. That got the running clock started. Fairdale was able to muster a nice drive there toward the end of the half and get a 4-yard touchdown run from LaQuante Jackson. 42-7. St. X leads it here at the break. Take a break. Come back with more here on the Eye Care Institute Halftime Report. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
To the St. X Tigers on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. And don't forget to tune in to Louisville First, our morning show on weekdays 7 to 10 a.m. on 790 a.m. These broadcasts are just an example of the vast marketing communication services we offer at the Bissig Impact Group. Give us a call at 583-0333 or visit Bissig.com. The Bissig Impact Group, innovative integrated marketing.
Are you thinking of taking a cruise or quick weekend escape? Knights Travel can meet all your travel needs. Knights Travel is Louisville's premier full-service travel agency specializing in customized vacation. For more information, visit knightstravel.com or contact St. X alum Luke Conklin at 292-4750 or Kaylin Ryback at 292-4749. Fly by Knights. It's the best way to travel.
Hey St. X fans, want to learn more about how your eyes work? It's time you visit the Eye Care Institute. Again this year, Dr. Brennan Green has been named a top doc by Louisville Magazine. Dr. Green and the doctors at the Eye Care Institute can meet all your vision needs. For more information or to schedule an appointment with Dr. Green at the Eye Care Institute, visit eyecareinstitute.com or call 589-1500. That's 589-1500.
Let's see, I need to replace the microwave, so I'll stop by Bargain Supply. We need a new shovel and garden gloves. I'll get those at Bargain Supply. Oh, and light bulbs. Bargain Supply from the...
here to Brother Thomas More Stadium and Paul M. Young Field to play the St. X Tigers. It's numbers. It's just there's Coach Dover knew he was coming in here for butter knife, And
if you're Coach Dover in the second half, the number one thing I think for your season is to not get anybody hurt. So you almost just say, okay, I'm going to Q Jackson might get a couple of carries and Barty, but my main guys, they're not going to get hurt here tonight.
Yeah, and that's one of the bad things about a game like this. Once again, the Tigers don't get to work much with their first guys. Going into Central next week, a good Central team, and Fairdale. The worst thing for these kids, and I've always said this, is they come in with not a lot of numbers. St. X got 3 or 4 groups coming in, and every time you look across from you, you got a guy that hadn't played yet who wants to make a play. It's not a guy who just is trying to finish the game out, and that's what the Tigers didn't score on that last possession, but Gapin gets it down to the 1-yard line, and you made a great point. Kleinkraut looks over to the sideline like, come on, Coach, and Coach Wolford's already walking out the midfield.
Marcus Cox started at quarterback for the Bulldogs. He was 12 of 25, 223 with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception coming in, but 3 interceptions on the first 3 possessions for the Fairdale Bulldogs. He's out. We have Farrell, who's been in the rest of the time for Fairdale, but Marcus Cox is a guy, again, you get him out of there if you're Coach Dover. It's 21-0, and Marcus Cox will have another day to shine.
Yeah, and once again, you just got to keep your morale up for your kids if you're Coach Dover and tell them, let's play hard. It's going to be a running clock, And he's going to take his time offensively, I guarantee it. When Fairdale's got the ball, they're going to use as much clock as they can just to try to get through this football game. They trail about 35 here at halftime, and we're getting a couple minutes from the second half starting.
And both teams back out on the field. We'll have a running clock in that second half, and we'll bring it to you after these messages. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
This has been the Eye Care Institute.
I'm sorry?
Halftime report. Stand by for live second half action on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
When you're not cheering on your favorite team and you're ready to tackle that large job or weekend project, Sunbelt Rentals has the equipment you need. From hand tools to excavators, we've got you covered. And with more than 525 locations, we're sure to have one convenient to you. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or contractor, you can rely on the experts at Sunbelt Rentals. Call 1-800-NO-SWEAT or visit sunbeltrentals.com for a location nearest you. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now.
Are you thinking of taking a cruise or quick weekend escape? Knights Travel can meet all your travel needs. Knights Travel is Louisville's premier full-service travel agency specializing in customized vacation. For more information, visit knightstravel.com or contact St. X alum Lou Conklin at 292-4750 or Kaylin Ryback at 292-4749. Fly by Knights. It's the best way to travel.
I'm pretty handy around my house and business, but there's one thing I leave to the pros, electrical work. And when I need it, I call Oldham County Electric. They're licensed contractors that do it all. Rewiring, room additions, lighting design, landscape lighting. They even have standby generators and offer 24-hour emergency service, even if you're not in Oldham County. Trust me, don't mess with electrical work. Contact Oldham County Electric, 502-310-1462 or oldhamcountyelectric.com.
For over 20 years, Signs Now has been Metro Louisville's go-to source for custom signs and banners. Vehicle lettering, trade show displays, lighted signs, you name it. We deliver durable, high-impact graphics and quick, affordable service. Signs Now is the choice for all your signage needs. Want proof? Just ask the Bissig Impact Group. We're their official sign provider. For more information, call 502-491-8180 or visit us online at signsnow.com.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of the St. X Tigers and Jefferson County High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. This season's live play-by-play coverage is sponsored by the Eye Care Institute. Call St. X grad Dr. Brennan Green at 589-1500 or visit the website at eyecareinstitute.com. Knights Travel. Fly by Knights. It's the best way to travel. Courier Journal. The Courier Journal. Now with expanded high school sports coverage. Sundays in print and at courier-journal.com. DFH. Call Don, Chris, or Alex Hinkabod at 968-6222 for all heating and cooling needs. St. X High School. Learn more at stx.com or call 502-637-4712. St. X High School. This is custom design.
Well, Bittenbender's at Mayo.
Looks like Josh Cook is at the Ballard game.
Big Impact Group. Integrated, innovative marketing. Let's head back to the field for the second half and join John Spears, Tony Burke.
Cool. First quarter.
Back at St. X, John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers. Just about ready to start the second half of play. St. X will get the ball to start play here in the second half. And as many jerseys as we saw in that first half, Tony, we'll probably see some more different ones.
Yeah.
If there are any left.
And if you're listening to us and your son or your grandson gets in the game and doesn't normally get to play a lot, you can go to livesportscaster.com later in the week, tomorrow, whenever, and replay the game and watch them play on television. Tim and Matt do such a great job at this high-definition broadcast of the game.
High definition's not good for me. I don't need to be in front of the camera when it's HD.
Well, that's a good point. Neither one of us. That's why we're on the radio.
My daughter told me a long time ago I have a face for radio. She wasn't just whistling Dixie as we were just about ready to get underway here in the second half. Don't forget Sunday night you can listen to my new show, the Sunday Sports Wrap-Up Show presented by O'Shea's Irish Pub. Every Sunday night, usually from 6 to 7. This week I'll be on after
about
7:30-ish after the Indianapolis Colts game. Their only 4 o'clock game of the season is their opener against the Rams, which you can listen to as well on the Big X. I'll be on with Tom Lane will be my guest. He'll be heading back from North Carolina after the Louisville Cardinals are done down there in Chapel Hill, and we'll talk about that game, among other things, with Tom Lane from Fox 41 Sports. That's Sunday night on the Big X, 1450 WXVW, 96.1 FM, the Sunday Sports Wrap-Up Show. Jonathan Morales will kick it away for the Bulldogs.
Austin Mayer's back there along with
Austin Mayer with a couple of carries late in that first half.
Is that Jack Gapin?
It's Jack Gapin, who we saw run a kick back for about 20 yards and then run an end or a jet sweep for about another 15. And he'll get another chance as it's squibbed down to the 30. He picks it up at the 15. Up the left sideline across the 30. He's got a hold of the 40. Breaks a tackle to midfield. He's down the left sideline. He stepped out of bounds at the 48-yard line, his own 48. So it's a return of about 33 yards for Jack Gapin. And Tigers, in a game like this, when you've got subs in there, sometimes you find something.
You do, and Gapin's looked good on his 2 kick returns. He went down the left side and then cut it, and, boy, he just got bumped a little bit. And if he doesn't get bumped, it's a touchdown for the Tigers to start the second half. But I do what I always do, throw my lineman buddies in there, and Bryce Donlin in the game, J.C. Baylan in the game. A couple of the other guys have already been in, but let me.
Hunter Mock is in now at the H-back spot.
Brendan Hart at one of the tackles.
3 receivers in the pattern. Austin Mayer in there as well. He gets the call up the middle. Not much there. Pushed behind by Bub Helton at about the 49. Give Mayer a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
Just a little handoff up the middle, one of those read plays, and Kleinkrock getting some action here. He plays behind Sullivan and Albers, and early on, those guys that ran that first string, a lot of those guys took those helmets off and were done early, and ball's at the 49-yard line of the Tigers.
Sam Leffert, Teddy Masterson in at wide receiver on this side. It's a handoff to Mayer up the gut. Makes one man miss, lowers his shoulder. He's got a first down. Excuse me. Into Fairdale territory, needed 9, got 9 to the 43. It's a 42. It's a 1st and 10.
This is when you want to be a running back and not a wide receiver if you're on the St. X offense, because not going to put the ball up in the air here.
Weinekraut in the shotgun, takes a snap, faked it to Mayer, keeps it up the middle. He's got 5, he's got 10, and he's chopped down right at the marker, maybe a little short of the first down. Eddie Vasquez made the tackle for the Bulldogs, but not until John Kleinkrout picked up 9.
Well, just a little read option, and Kleinkrout pulls it out of Mayer's belly, tucks it up. The offensive line up front does a nice job.
2nd and 1. Hunter Mox, the H-back. Man in motion from left to right. And they give it to him on the jet sweep. To the 30. Tripped up as he got inside the 25. That's Teddy Masterson, the wide receiver. His first carry of the year. Gain of about 10 on the play, and it's a first down for the Tigers at the 23.
As the running clock already moves down to 9 minutes here in the third quarter. 42-7 Tigers lead here early third quarter with a running clock, and seeing a lot of saw the twos, seeing a lot of the threes, but these guys all get an opportunity, and the Tigers have moved the ball.
Eric Fair in wide receiver to the left side. That's the short side of the field on 1st and 10. Here's Mayer up the middle. Cuts back outside now, looking for a block. Got one. A flag comes down in the backfield. That's going to be in a hole against the Tigers. Mayer ended up getting down to the 12-yard line. Got about 11 yards on the play, but this one's going to come back.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Tigers, the flag's way behind the play, and sometimes the offensive linemen get locked up and they don't let go, and got to kind of know where the play's going and let it go. But these guys getting their first opportunity of the year to get on the field.
It'll be a 10-yard penalty. The flag was right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 1st and 20 for the Tigers. They move it back to the 34. It'll be 1st and 21, actually, with 8:44 to go here in the third quarter.
So the clock stops on penalties?
Well, the referee's telling them to start it, but they're not paying much attention.
Haven't started it still.
Handoff, not much there. Hunter Mock's helmet will come off, so he'll have to come off the field. Mayer with the carry. Got to the 30, gained 4, and bring up 2nd down.
Clock finally gets going. Not going to throw him under the bus, but he's over there pushing the buttons. Our clock keeper won't mention any names, but they get the clock going.
It rhymes with cleave.
This one possession might take the whole second half here, third quarter.
2nd and 17 for the Tigers. Kleinenkraut in the shotgun. Option to the left. Keeps it. Pitches late to Mayer. He's at the 30. Cuts outside. Gets a block from Eric Fair and gets down inside the 20-yard line. Fair, the wide receiver, gave him a nice block out there. He got to the 19. It's a gain of 11. And they'll bring up a 3rd down and about 6 for the Tigers.
And a great job by John Kleinkraut. He cut it up, and then when the defense came, he pitched it about 10 yards out to the pitch guy, Mayer, and he gets up the field, and they get about 12.
I'm not sure Austin Mayer thought he was ever going to get that one, but all of a sudden there it was. Mayer will get the call again. Well, keeper this time by Kleinenkraut. Cuts inside, gets to the 15, spins to the 10, still loose to the 6 before he's hauled down from behind at the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 14 for John Kleinenkraut, the senior, and a 1st and goal for the Tigers in the green zone. Brought to you by the Eye Care Institute, Dr. Brennan Green.
Nice job by Kleinkraut again, doing a nice job of leading this group of guys on the field, and Tigers trying to punch one in here on their first possession of the second half.
And a face mask, 15-yarder against the
Bulldogs.
They'll move it to the 2.5-yard line, so just half the distance to the goal, but it's 1st and goal. We'll call it the 3. Hunter Mock in there at H-back. Mayer is the running back. Fair in motion from right to left, and now Kleinenkraut tells him to stop and get back over there.
I think Fair's going to get the ball if he goes back in motion.
Kleinenkraut takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get close to, and did he get in? Yes, into the end zone. And that time I think Austin Mayer thought he was going to get it. Kleinenkraut turned for a second and then just said, heck with it, I'm going up the middle with it. Touchdown, Kleinenkraut.
I think the senior, John Kleinkraut, said, let's change the play. It's supposed to go to Mayer, but I'm going to keep it because I want a touchdown. And he goes in as the Tigers lead 48-7 here at St. X over the Fairdale Bulldogs.
3-yard run for the senior quarterback. And we will see who's in for the extra point. Kyle Nally's in there, and Harkins is in to hold it. Tigers 1 short on the line of scrimmage. But they are ready to go now. The left-footed Nally. He's 1 for 1. Good snap, good hold. He's 2 for 2. It is 49-7 Tigers. 6:57 to go, third quarter. You're listening to St. X High School football, the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Oh,
Replace the
man.
microwave.
Feet of merchandise, so you can find and save on everything you need in one easy stop. Save on appliances, electronics, tools, and more at Bargain Supply, 844 East Jefferson in Nulu, downtown Louisville.
Hello, everybody. This is Larry Bissig. Thank you for listening to the St. X Tigers on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. And don't forget to tune in to Louisville First, our morning show on weekdays 7 to 10 a.m. on 790 a.m. These broadcasts are just an example of the vast marketing communication services we offer at the Bissig Impact Group. Give us a call at 583-0333 or visit Bissig.com. The Bissig Impact Group, innovative integrated marketing.
Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Matisia's kickoff taken by Brayshawn Barty at about the 14-yard line. He gets across the 25 and not much more. Actually got out to about the 29 over on the Fairdale sideline. Jim Brinkman, are you still with us?
I am, and I want to tell you a little story about that drive. Number 73, the offensive lineman, J.C. Bainline. Yeah, went ahead, knocked his player to the ground, and then he did almost like a belly flop and just laid on him. You know,
J.C.
And obviously that's a taught technique.
That's a legal block.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
So it was great, but it's nice to see JKK, scoring as a senior. He'll remember that always.
Jonathan Farrell back in there at quarterback. We haven't seen Marcus Cox since the first couple of series with the interceptions. He'll hand it to Jackson up the middle, hanging on for dear life. The Tigers was Ethan Stacy, the linebacker. Jackson got to about the 36, give him about 7. He'll bring up second down and 3.
Roadhouse in there with, I believe it was Archer, maybe Ben Thompson. A lot of different numbers we're scouting out for you here. But nice gain on first down of about 6.
Jack Crane. 7. Jack Crane is in there at the nose. We've seen some of these guys, but some of them we haven't seen yet. Second and 3. Farrell from the shotgun takes a snap, gives it to Barty running right, in trouble. Makes one man miss, got close to the first down. Ball came out, but they're going to say Barty was down. It'll be about a half yard short of the first down. Third and less than a yard.
Well, Alex Feller stepped up in the hole, but a really nice play by Michael Houlihan coming from the opposite side, outside linebacker to make that play. So 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs, 4:45 left third quarter. Tigers lead 49-7.
Parker Landman over there on the defensive outside linebacker spot. 3rd and short. Farrell gives it to Jackson. He's got the first down and more out near midfield before he's brought down.
Mason Cherry.
Cherry, a good lick, the 5'10 defensive back. But a first down for Jackson all the way to midfield for the Bulldogs. 4:17 to go. Clock continues to run here in the third quarter. 49-7. St. X leads it. Tigers will head down to the Hive next week, take on the Central Yellow Jackets.
Hey, and come down to the Hive. It's a good place to watch a game. They take good care of you. It'll be a good football game.
Absolutely. Love it down there. They take care of us every year. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 1st and 10. The lone setback is Barty, and he gets the call up the middle. Cuts it outside, hit and brought down as he got about 4 yards to the 46-yard line.
First guy there was Alex Johnson, and then a bunch of Tigers.
Jacob Exley was there as well. Houlihan gets the call from Rob Schweitzer. And it's 2nd down and 6. And again, the Bulldogs, not in a hurry. They just want to run some good plays, get some positive yardage here, and feel better about themselves.
And keep that clock moving. But you got to give them credit. They're still playing hard.
2nd down and 6. Jacoby Dixon goes wide to the right, 3 to the left. Barty in the backfield with Farrell. Barty will get the call, running right, big hole. across the 40. Makes one man miss to the 35 and hauled down from behind by Landman. Parker Landman makes the tackle at about the 32-yard line.
Fairdale moving the football. Tigers keep substituting every few plays. They're rolling guys in, rolling guys out.
Gain of 14 on the play.
Actually, John, that score I was looking at earlier, Ballard 18-7 is Central who they are playing.
Are they leading? Or?
Ballard leading Central last I saw.
Alex Bascom now in one of the defensive line spots. One of the Bascom brothers.
The one that's playing tonight.
The one that's not injured.
Cal leaves each down at halftime 14-9.
First and 10. Quick throw to the right to Dixon. He's got it, and he's hit. And hanging on to him was Preston Bicker, the defensive back, till he got some help from his friends. Amback came over to help. It's a gain of a couple. Bring up second down and about 8 for the Bulldogs. Nice job coming up quickly for Bicker.
Holy Cross leads Bethlehem into the third, 24-0 across.
Yeah, my wife went to Bethlehem. You got to say it right.
Yeah, you got to say. I knew when I said it, I had to correct that.
I'm surprised I haven't gotten a text yet. What's Tony talking about? Which she sends me one of those just about every week. But second and 8. Farrell, 2 backs back there with him, and Barty gets the call running right. He's got a hole across the 25, fights his way to the first down marker, and I believe he's got it to the 23-yard line.
Trevor
first down for the Bulldogs. 1 minute left here in the third quarter.
And, John, tell everybody how many possessions we've had here in the third quarter.
The Tigers have had it once, scored a touchdown, and the Bulldogs have had it once, and they are currently on their only drive of the quarter so far. Now that's what the running clock does for you.
Keep the football, the clock runs.
It's a double-edged sword because you want to get your guys playing time, but because the clock doesn't stop, they don't get nearly as many plays as you'd like them to get. Especially your 3s and 4s. Farrell takes a snap, hands it to Barty. This time he runs left, gets behind the big offensive line. Ball's loose. It was popped out of there. And I believe the Tigers have. They're going to say he was down. That's a terrible call.
Yeah, it sure was, John.
Absolutely awful.
Jake D'Antoni came up from his safety spot.
Made a lick on him.
Put a really good hit, and that ball popped out.
And it was an awful call by the side judge, who either has got a big heart for the Fairdale Bulldogs. Third quarter comes to an end. 49-7 Tigers. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans. Want to learn more about how your eyes? It's time you visit the Eye Care Institute. Again this year, Dr. Brennan Green has been named a top doc by Louisville Magazine. Dr. Green and the doctors at the Eye Care Institute can meet all your vision needs. For more information or to schedule an appointment with Dr. Green at the Eye Care Institute, visit eyecareinstitute.com or call 589-1500. That's 589-1500.
Terry Miners here, St. X class of 75. Go Tigers! You know who else loves the Tigers? DFH Heating and Cooling. That's the Don F. Hinkabine Company. Chris, Alex, lots of the Hinkabines have been working for like 80 years taking care of people's HVAC systems. Let them come and just do regular maintenance on your HVAC system so that your heater's ready to crank this winter. Let's go Tigers. Heat them up on the field, and let's go DFH. Call them at 968-6222. And they're online at dfhcompany.com.
Back at St. X, John and Tony and Jim and Todd as we head to the fourth quarter. 49-7 St. X with the lead over the Fairdale Bulldogs. And Fairdale still on with their first possession of the second half, driving down the field against the Tiger backups. They've got a 1st and 10 after a really bad call, a fumble that was not called a fumble at the Tiger 19. Q Jackson gets the call, runs outside, gets to the 15, hauled down from behind. Good pursuit that time by Charlie Fusenegger. Love that name.
Nice. It was actually a great play by Fusenegger because Jackson, whoever had the ball, bounced it outside, and then Fusnegger ran him down from behind and actually got him down after a good 6-yard carry.
Ball's at the 13, 2nd down and 4. Bless you, Todd Powers. It's like 1,000 pounds of pollen in the air. That's what Brian Piccolo said anyway. 2nd down and 4. Fairdale breaks the huddle. They send 3 to the right, 1 to the left. The lone setback is LaQuante Jackson. Jonathan Farrell in the pistol takes a snap. Give it to Jackson up the middle. Big hole. 10-5 touchdown Fairdale as he runs over a couple of tacklers. 2nd touchdown of the night for LaQuante Jackson. This one from 13 yards out.
Just a nice hole up the middle. And Jackson Bunning really hit him at the goal line.
Yeah. And
Bunning bounced back, but it was a big hit, but a nice run by Jackson as he goes in. And the Bulldogs get their 2nd score of the night. With 10:57 left in the football game, Tigers lead 49-13.
Yeah, I almost called that a touchdown too early because you're right, Tony. Jackson Bunning came up and put a lick on him at the goal line.
You could hear the ooh and the coming from everyone.
Jonathan Morales in for the extra point.
Think he's any relation to Jose Morales?
I don't think so.
The old baseball player?
Matthew Morgeson will hold it. We're getting loopy up here. Kick is up, kick is through. 49-14, St. X with the lead, 10:57 to go. You're listening to St. X High School Football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. This is Larry Bissig on behalf of the Bissig Impact Center. We have room for 2 tenants here at the Bissig Impact Center, right on 4th Street in the heart of downtown Louisville. Call me direct if your medium-sized business is looking for a new place to locate. 583-0333. That's 583-0333. The Bissig Impact Center, home for your business.
Planning an event for thousands? At Events LLC, designers are available to provide custom production and creative design services to coordinate your perfect event. Hosting a smaller gathering? Try their rental, installation, and delivery services. Events LLC has everything needed to facilitate your next event. Their 66,000 square foot warehouse is filled with unique props, linens, dance floors, and anything else you can think of. Call 583-5007 or visit eventsllc.com.
Back at Brother Thomas More Stadium, John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers. Well, they try an onside kick. It goes right through the hands of one Tiger, but who got it, Tony?
Ben Chambers, backup offensive lineman.
Tell you what.
Ben Chambers did not come in here tonight expecting to get a carry.
That's the dream for Ben Chambers, Jim Brinkman. Offensive lineman, I'm running back a kickoff.
You know what? I'm thinking back to my CSAA days. I'm thinking I'm looking for an X on the helmet that he had to drop.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Handoff, running left, a little jet sweep, 40, 50.
Grayson
Galloway.
Open
field is Grayson Galloway, and he is hog-tied at about the 40, inside the 40-yard line of Fairdale. Michael Smith able to push him out of bounds there at the 38-yard line. So it's a 23-yard gain on 1st down for Grayson Galloway.
Turner Ferris in the game. And this name, you know anybody named Michael Manners?
Never heard of him. Luke, well, that's not Luke Wheatley. What's the new running back in there, Tony? He'll get the call. Right up the gut. Big hole to the 30. It's one of those numbers. Logan Davis. Of course, Rob Schweitzer gives the wrong name, as he is wont to do. But that is Logan Davis with his first carry of the night. Right up the gut. Got about 9 to the 30. Going to bring up 2nd down and 1 for the Tigers.
Gain of 8 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd 2 for the Tigers.
Davis at the setback position. 3 receivers. Here's Logan again up the middle. 1st down and more across the 25, down inside the 20, and tripped up by a couple of different Bulldogs. They'll spot it at about the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 11. Tigers in the green zone. And we have given enough love to the Eye Care Institute, Dr. Brendan Green, because the Tigers been in the green zone all night long. Klein Crowd alone in the backfield. Takes a snap. Quick throw to the right. It is caught at the 21. Making a move inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. That is Zach Johnston. We got 284s, but that's the wide receiver, Zach Johnston, with the catch. I thought Fairdale got away with a face mask, but as soon as he caught it, but no flag. It's a gain of about 5 on the play, 2nd and 5. Logan Davis in the backfield. Man in motion. They give it to Davis. They faked it to Grayson, gave it to Davis, running right, and he's untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. Logan Davis from 14 yards out.
Well, the Tigers have dressed some other guys tonight, and Logan Davis, I'm assuming sophomore that has been put on the varsity tonight, gets an opportunity and makes the most of it. With 7:56 left, Tigers go up 55-14 with the extra point coming.
Now, that was a quick drive, Tony.
That was, and that was some nice job. You know, Logan Davis showing some quickness. Kyle Nally in to attempt the extra point.
And Bryson Larkins will hold it. Harkins, Larkins, Barkins, doesn't matter. He'll hold it. Nally booms it through. And it is 56-14 Tigers. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School Football, the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. I keep thinking of Barry Larkin. Don't tell.
Lead 17-0.
I really thought, and I wouldn't say this anywhere, I thought it might be a running clock over there. I really did.
I thought they'd kill him.
I really did.
I thought they'd kill him.
I thought Trinity would. I think Trinity's really, really good again. The only thing Male had going for him was on the grass field. Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. 56-14. St. X leads, and Matija will kick it away again. And this one is going to be taken at about the 10-yard line by Barty. Runs down the right hash to the 20, to the 25, and pushed down there by a host of Tigers.
Jackson Bunning gets off the bottom.
Yep, absolutely the number I was looking at. And Bunning will stay in there and go over to the cornerback position. But 1st and 10 for Fairdale. Clock continues to run with 7:20 to go.
Late third from over on the old dirt campus, 17-0. Rocks lead the Bulldogs from Male High School. Male just stopped Trinity at the goal line and will take over. According to what I've read tonight, not much offense for the Male Bulldogs, but they've held Trinity to 17 points.
New quarterback in there for Fairdale now is Trey McCoy, sophomore. Played some wide receiver here tonight. He's in at quarterback, and he hands it off and running to the left in a big hole. That is Hayden Horn, another sophomore. So a couple of youngsters getting in there now and trying to make some things happen for the Fairdale Bulldogs. Horn got 11 yards out to the 38-yard line, a first down for Fairdale.
Clock rolls down to 6:30 left. Tigers lead 56-14.
4 receivers in the pattern. McCoy in the shotgun. He's got Horn back there with him. He's got a new running back, and it is Bascom who breaks through to make the tackle. That is Alex. Jordan Eskridge running the ball, but Alex Bascom came through quickly, made the hit in the backfield. It's a loss of a couple. A 2nd down and 12 for the Bulldogs.
Clock just goes tick, 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 tick as we keep rolling down.
Under 6 to play.
42-point lead by the Tigers.
McCoy again goes all the way to the sideline, gets the play, runs back out, tells his teammates. Fairdale sends 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2 men in the backfield with McCoy as he takes a snap. Gives it to Horn. Met at the line of scrimmage, fights his way for a couple of yards. Standing him up was Alex Feller, the linebacker. He got the original 2 yards back, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
David Hall there trying to rip the ball out, along with Alex Bascom. Well, John, the Tigers are going to move on and be 3-0, and the Central Yellow Jackets, who haven't given up many points, are trailing against the Ballard Bruins tonight. So,
Tony, I think if you went down there and just snuck a jersey on, Coach Wolford would put you in the game.
You get a helmet on and a jersey, and you just get next to him, and just as soon as somebody comes, just run out on the field and tell somebody to come out. You don't even have to wait for the coach; just run in.
I think that's your play right now. Bootleg left. McCoy fooled a couple of Tigers. He's going to be brought down a yard shy of the first down. Looked like if he dives forward, he could have gotten it.
Stephen Bruce.
Bruce chased him down. Hall was there as well, along with Preston Petrie. He got to the 47, needed the 48. It's 4th and 1 for Fairdale. A couple more Tigers come in. Ethan Stacy, Jacob Exley.
And this is when Coach Glazer loves after the game to tell you how many players he played tonight. and Will won't tell us
Coach
that.
Glazer had
he'd always tell you
number.
Exactly how many guys got in the game.
Because he knew who dressed, and he knew they all got in. 4th and 1 for Fairdale. McCoy takes a snap. Hand off to Horn, and he's not going to get there.
Somebody got him in the old rep.
And helping him up.
It's Bascom again.
Bascom got him. Exley was in there as well, and Exley helps him up and says, sorry you didn't get there, big fella. And loss of a yard. And the Tigers take over with 3.5 to play, and the clock's still ticking. And this has just been a terrific night for the senior quarterback, John Kleinkraut, as well, Tony. He's scored a touchdown. He's gotten to play the entire second half, and you put him 4 years, that's what you deserve. Austin Mayer back in at running back for the Tigers. And he will get the call up the middle. Runs over a tackler at the 45, fights his way to the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 5.
One of our favorite Texers. Billy Burke
wants to know if Stan Harden and Carlos Turner were the Fairdale's honorary captains tonight. That's a great question. Those are some names from the past, but Billy, I believe they played football. They played basketball. One coached, one played. Both won state titles.
Maurice Morris ended up.
2nd down and 5 for the Tigers. Kleinkraut in the backfield. Hands it off to Mayer on the read option. And that time, John maybe should have hung on to that one as Mayer is hauled down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 3. That'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Tigers with 2:20 to go.
Yeah, Kleinkraut, if he tucks that one in, might still be running as the clock ticks down to 2:15 left here in the football game. So
I bet you he keeps it this time.
It's 9:14, and this game is going to end at about 9:17, John. It's as quick as they go.
Jordan Morrow now in at the fullback position. Kleinkraut's got Mayer back there with him. Gayton in motion. Kleinkraut keeps it. Runs up the middle. He's going to be brought down just a little bit shy of the first down at about the 38. It'll bring up 4th and 2. And, of course, no reason not to run another one up the middle here with 1:39 to play.
Got to give one of my old basketball players, Greg Bayline, son Baylor Bayline, in motion right there. Thought he was going to give it to him.
Brandon Chang comes in at fullback now for the Tigers, wearing Will Crum's number. We certainly expect at least Crum and Metzmeyer back next week against Central. Dominic Algar might have to be off for another week as they're dinged up. Pitch to the right. It's Mayer. 1st down. Cuts outside, and the Turf Monster knocks him down at about the 33-yard line with just over a minute to play.
Might get 1, maybe 2 plays left.
1st and 10 for the Tigers.
This one you take one guy over there that's worked the hardest and you put him in at running back and just give him the ball. I don't care if he knows where he's running. You tell him what hole to run through and you give it to him, and everybody goes nuts.
The amazing thing about the running clock, Tony, this is St. X's 3rd possession of the half. Fairdale's had 2.
Tigers are going to take a knee.
Kleinkraut does take a knee. 35 seconds to play. If the referees are in on things here, they won't mark it till the 25-second mark, and they're taking their time, and that'll do it. 56-14. We'll take a quick break, come back with more. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
In my house, watching the game is a big.
We're just going to take one break here.
Yeah, get back.
Get back for Will. Get some words out. Go ahead, Tony.
Nothing cross.
And capping off
Against Bethlehem.
It's still 17-0 down the street.
Yep.
This season, nominate and vote for Athletes of the Week at courierjournal.com.
There's a live auction at our fumble ball.
Oh, I know.
We're just talking.
A long commercial. Jim and Todd. Quickly, let's head down to Jim Brinkman after the 56-14 Tiger win. He's with the head coach. Jim.
All right, Coach, 56-14. I think you hit every goal you wanted to tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty complete game. Everyone played, which was nice. And again, we put in 8 sophomores for tonight, just over 100 kids. So to get them all in the game, very nice. And I think the kids know from here on out the road's quite a bit tougher. But nice to get a win today.
You know, Coach, watching the alma mater there, that's a tradition that started, with you guys, with the team all coming over and facing the fans. How do you feel about your program, your 5th year in?
I feel very good about it. One thing I love about the alma mater song at the end is the kids love it. The kids absolutely love it. So, I mean, that's the most important thing. They bought into everything at this school. Football is just a side product.
Okay. Yeah, it is a band of brothers, isn't it? Hey, any thoughts about Central?
I know they're very good. They're playing Ballard tonight. I'm not sure what that score is, but Central has a lot of returning starters, and they're a very talented football team with a new coach, and it looks like they're playing real well. Ballard's got a lot of talent, too, so I think Central might get them, but again, I have not heard the score. I don't know if y'all have or not.
They're trailing.
Central is trailing?
18-7.
18-7.
18-7. Ballard. So.
It doesn't matter. They play us tough.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Head coach Will Wolford. And I think Central, Tony, we talk about Male having a really good defense and struggle on offense. I think you can say the same about Central so far.
Yeah, and that's exactly. They haven't scored a lot of points, but they've held people in that low-scoring game against Ballard tonight. So see how that one works out for next week.
We'll come back. Eye Care Institute post-game report is on the way. Tigers win it tonight 56-14 over Fairdale. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
You've been listening to the St. X Tigers and Jefferson County High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. This season's live play-by-play coverage is sponsored by the Eye Care Institute. Call St. X grad Dr. Brennan Green at 589-1500 or visit the website at eyecareinstitute.com. Nights travel. Fly by nights. It's the best way to travel. Courier Journal. The Courier Journal. Now with expanded high school sports coverage. Sundays in print and at courier-journal.com. DFH. Call Don, Chris, or Alex Hinkabine at 968-6222 for all heating and cooling needs. St. X High School. Learn more at stx.com or call 502-637-4712. St. X High School. This is where you start. Events LLC. Custom designs uniquely tailored to your event. From setup to takedown, we'll make your event extraordinary. Bissig Impact Group. Integrated, innovative marketing. Don't go away. The Eye Care Institute post-game wrap-up is next on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
There are few things that truly inspire, like seeing young athletes succeed. With this in mind, the Courier-Journal created the Kentuckiana Sports Awards presented by Norton Sports Health. We're honoring Athletes of the Week for Southern Indiana and Metro Louisville all season long, naming all area teams for more than a dozen sports, and capping off the year with a red carpet banquet in June. Vote for this week's Athlete of the Week at the CourierJournal.com sports page.
Serving the Louisville area for over 40 years, Jefferson Special Police has become one of Louisville's largest contract security firms, providing a full range of services. From unarmed guards, T-shirt security, crowd control, to ticket takers, ushers, and valet parking attendants. No event is too big or too small. Jefferson Special Police can handle it all. For more information, contact Jefferson Special Police at 502-361-1285 or visit us online at jeffersonspecial.com.
Imagine flipping in the air on the Super Quad Bungee, running across the Big Baller Obstacle Course, or conquering Brutus, the Mechanical Bull. Christian family owned and operated, Louisville Inflatables specializes in school and church functions, festivals, and city fairs, offering inflatables of all shapes and sizes while being clean, safe, insured, and state inspected. Stop imagining and call 502-379-0876 or book online at LouisvilleInflatables.com, where laughter adds to life. Louisville Inflatables.
When you're not cheering on your favorite team and you're ready to tackle that large job or weekend project, Sunbelt Rentals has the equipment you need. From hand tools to excavators, we've got you covered. And with more than 525 locations, we're sure to have one convenient to you. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or contractor, you can rely on the experts at Sunbelt Rentals. Call 1-800-NO-SWEAT or visit sunbeltrentals.com for a location nearest you. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now.
There are few things that truly inspire, like seeing young